There's been a huge rise of men slipping in the A pill without their girlfriends knowing, actually getting arrested for these sorts of things. This is crazy. I didn't really put together like the implications of some of these policies that they would play out this way, but it doesn't surprise me. So this is Christian Hawkins. She is a unborn baby advocate, all right? And the title here reads, Married Washington Man Slipped in a Baby Deletion Pill into Girlfriend's Vagina. Can I say that on stream? During intercourse after she told him she was with child.
So I can't tell if the headline got it wrong or if that's actually how you administer a pill.
I don't know.
But that's an odd way to ingest a pill, if I might say so myself.
Yeah. Yeah, that is an odd way. Yeah, I don't think we should Google that. I don't think we should Google that. So with these chemical baby deletions now readily available, we're seeing an uptick in this sort of behavior by men who don't want their women to have these babies that they're not prepared for.
Yeah.
Okay. I reached down and pulled out of my own body the amniotic sac, perfectly round, transparent, and inside was my first perfectly formed baby with eyes and fingers and toes. And I had to choose at that moment what to do with this baby that nobody told me I would see. They told me I would see blood, maybe just a double period. I ultimately decided to, yikes, flush the baby down the toilet into a septic tank, which is something that psychologically does some damage. Man sentenced to prison for trying to spike girlfriend's drink with baby deletion pill after she refused to delete the baby.
And this is how I would suspect you would ingest an A pill.
Yeah.
So I couldn't tell maybe if that first article got it wrong, but then there's another one. A mom.
Oof.
A Nebraska mom will spend 2 years in prison after giving her teenage daughter an A pill, then helping destroy the fetus. This lady pleaded guilty in July to several charges, including tampering with human remains, false reporting, and providing an A after at least 20 weeks of gestation. 20 weeks. Burgess' then 17-year-old daughter was in her third trimester at this time. Yikes. Mother arrested after trying to force her teen daughter to have an A. Baby deletion. Well, that is a face of a mother.
Darkness.
That's not fun.
So this notion that like, oh, it's safe. Oh, you just take this little pill and then it just passes through you. So this is a woman's right issue.
Mm-hmm.
This is something that liberates women.
Yeah.
This is something that gives women their power back. And what happens? It's actually another weapon used to hurt women.
Yeah.
Right? Now, this I found interesting, which some of you guys saw this clip go viral. 45 baby deletions. This is dark. Hold on.
Hide your kids. Hide your wife.
Explicit.
I love babies. I love
Jesus welcome. We have to give her the word.
I've had
We have
like
to give her the
45
word.
and I'm going to keep having them.
You need our God. We are God.
Ooh.
I mean, at least they're being honest.
Darkness.
Yep.
At least they're being honest. At least they're telling you what they really think about these things, right? So I met Gigi at Lila Rosa's conference. She's sweet. We're going to have her on the podcast at some point. She said, rather than point out the obvious, I want to teach about the spirit behind the face, but more importantly, what God wants to do about it when his spirit comes our way. As crazy as it sounds, she reminds me of me.
Ooh.
Her 45, my 5. Sin plus sin equals sin. Minus 40 deletions. I was just like her spiritually. I may have never said I like children, but in the spirit realm, the blood sacrifices that I committed, like her, say otherwise. So what's the difference? There's only one answer, Jesus. Since 2017, I've never been the same. Okay, but God demonstrates his own love towards us that while we were still sinners, Christ died for us. He knows her name. He knows her the day she was born. He knows the number of hairs on her head. He knows his plan for her. He knows Satan's plan. He knows the torment she experiences when no one's looking. He knows what will make her surrender. He knows. Stop right now what you're doing and pray for 45 girl. I don't know her name, but Jesus does. Pray for her salvation and her deliverance from all 45 of those blood sacrifices and covenants she made with Satan. Pray. We will see the testimony one day. Pray like she's your daughter, sister, niece, or best friend. Pray. That's good. That's a great response to the foolishness. And there's been a lot of, I mean, they saw the video of the, did I add that to the notes of the person that wants to get the first ever uterus transplant so they could be the first person to have baby deletion. This stuff is really dark, but it's ultimately, it's the overflow of just darkness in the spiritual realm. Because I think we all know what this is. I think the world knows what this is. I don't think we have to pretend and be like, these things are a woman's right. Like, no.
They're just confused.
This is dark. This is really dark. And positioning it and framing it as a woman's right, positioning and framing it as it's just a medical procedure, positioning it and framing it as if this is not something without consequences, I think does a huge disservice to people. And I think it's really sad. And I think that the more folks go through this process, unfortunately, the more they discover how barbaric and terrible this is for them. Mm-hmm. Because they realize that, like, oh, I was just flat out lied to. Like, I was flat out lied to. They said it was just going to be like a regular passing. And they find out that, oh, no, like, that's actually a baby that comes out. And this is really dark. All right, guys, I'm ecstatic to bring you our brand new Bless God leadership planner, prayer journal, calendar, all in one. This is really inspired by Matthew chapter 25, verse 14 through 30, which is, of course, the parable of the talent. Of course, we have the elastic band, we have a pen holder, we have our calendar, we have our prayer journal, we have our leadership journal, and we have a section for note. Before we even get to the planner, we have something super duper cool, which is my structure of doing goals. We start with dreaming. This is a section that has a prompt here that explains how we are to first just approach what would an ideal, amazing goal materializing look like for you. Action goals are things that aren't just consumed with a pie in the sky, far away vision of something, but a very practical approach of things you can be doing. We then walk you through on how to take your goals, your action goals, your input goals, and to break them down, and this is key, into daily non-negotiables. And then here we have some time for you to reflect and re-examine. So now we get into our calendar, 12 months of calendar. Of course, you could just write in the month that you have here, write in your dates all the way across. And then we have our monthly goals. And then you have your monthly non-negotiables. Okay, now we're gonna jump over into our prayer journal. Now, the cool part about this is, just like our regular prayer journal, we packed the regular prayer journal into this leadership journal, okay, which follows the same format. Here, we get into the leadership journal, which starts with more gratitude, things I'm grateful that are working, right? These things are working in your business, in your ministry, in your startup, whatever it is. Idea, problem that needs a solution. So we get right into what is the problem, all possible solutions, and then actionable next steps. This is probably one of my favorite parts. Whenever we start any project, we really just start with a brainstorm and a brain dump. What does that mean? That means that before we're trying to think of how to do something, we're just kind of getting all the ideas out. And this is a section for you to write down all of your ideas and just brain dump what you could possibly do. We have just free write notes, right? So I love utilizing notes for when I'm in church. I love utilizing notes when I'm listening to a sermon, when I'm at a conference, when I'm just maybe writing something that is coming to me. I'll usually write it in a free notes section. This thing should last you, I'd say, about a year if you're super duper consistent. But I think this is by far the coolest thing we've been able to make that I think will be a practical tool in your hands. So if you guys don't have one, go pick it up. They're on sale right now at blessgod.shop. All right, I'll see you over there.